Hello and welcome back to Here We Tow. Today, Jules and I are continuing our trip around Somerset. We're jumping back in the Sportivo. We're not going far, we're literally just going down the road here in Brean to Hurn Lane Caravan and Motorhome club site. So if you are a member of the club and you want to have a look at this site, that's what we're going to be doing. And we're going to venture down to Burnham-on-Sea as well. We did Weston while we've been here on this site, but we're going to Burnham-on-Sea, which I really like Burnham actually, and there is motorhome parking, so I'll make sure I show you that. We're also on site having 2 motorhomes dropped off by Bailey of Bristol. We are linking in with them. So what you'll also get to see is how Jules and I do our review work, because I know you just see the reviews and that's it, but this is going to give you a bit of a behind the scenes. So when we get on the site at Hurn Lane, you'll be able to see these Baileys and how we review that content. We do have permission to film on the club site as well. I'll just make that clear because I know sometimes they have rules around filming on the Caravan and Motorhome club site. Right, let's dive in. We will see you on the drive into Hurn Lane so you can see what that's like, and then we'll go get checked in there. Right, I've arrived at Hurn Lane, so that was the drive-in. As I say, it's a Caravan and Motorhome club site. It's got about 140 pitches, I believe. About 90 odd of those are hardstanding with electric. We've got hardstanding with electric, and that's going to be £29.50 a night this time of year. They do also have grass with electric as well. They don't accept tents, to the best of my knowledge. So what we're going to do is we're going to venture up to the reception area. Now, on a club site, when you arrive, you park like you do there. Don't arrive before 1 o'clock on the club sites unless it stipulates otherwise for that site. There's the security barriers, so what you then do is you go up to the reception area, and that's where you'll do the check-in. And then the way it works on a club site is you actually just go and find your own pitch, and then you get a barrier fob. We've had our pitches chosen for us because the Baileys that we're reviewing have been brought onto site, and they're over there somewhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dive into reception, get all the keys for the motorhomes, and then we're going to venture up to our pitch. So we're through the barrier and we need to find the motorhome service point because we need water. And this is Gail here. So this is Gail. Now, Gail is the site manager. Oh. Hi, Gail.
Hello, you all right?
So when you arrive on site, you might be greeted by a nice, friendly face. Or Gail.
Or me.
We can't
guarantee it.
But Gail is the site manager here at Hurn Lane. How are you getting on this season, Gail?
Up to now, good.
Good? That's
good.
What we like to hear.
Weather's with us though.
It is. And everywhere looks nice in the sun.
Yeah.
Even Bradford. Yeah. Right. We're going to find the motorhome service point, if that's all right. Where will we find that, please,
Follow
Gail?
the road round,
yeah.
keep to the right, and it's on your left.
Brilliant. Right, so it's round this way and on our left. So we're going to go there, and then we're going to go down to our pitch. Then we'll have a look around the site, maybe meet Gail's husband, Mark. He doesn't say a lot, but when he does, it's not worth listening to anyway. But hopefully we might find Mark on the site. So we'll catch up with you in a bit, Gail. Thank you very much. See you soon.
Take care.
Take care. Right, let's go find that motorhome service point. We need some water. We've only got about 20 litres in, so we're just going to go fill up and then we'll get on site and get hooked up. Here's the motorhome service point. What you'll find with caravan and motorhome club sites is that they are always really nicely laid out. They all follow the same sort of standard, so they're quite good for a lot of people who like things that are familiar to them, because they're all very much the same. The pitches have got the same style to them, the service points, the toilet blocks, and that's the benefit of the caravan and motorhome club. Right, let me just reverse us back, tuck ourselves in, and we're going to then get some water. So this is your motorhome service point, as you can see here. Right, we'll get some water. What I might do is deploy our magic noise button as well to let us know it's full. So we'll get some water and then venture up to the pitch. So we're on the pitch, going to get the electric hookup on, electric hookup bollards around the site, not fully serviced. So these are sort of pretty standard for pitches that you're going to get on a caravan and motorhome club site. If you've not been to one before, just gives you an idea. We're here. What you've got to do, there's 2 pegs as well on the pitch. You've got to park in between the pegs, okay? You can do whatever you want, but you've got to be between those pegs with your unit. The Baileys have arrived and they're not between the pegs, so I need to move these about. What Jules and I are going to be doing while we're here at Hurn Lane is we're going to be doing a review of this. This is the Bailey Alora 694S. So this is what's called a compact motorhome. As you can see, it's based on the Ford. So we're going to be reviewing that and spending a night in it. We're also then going to be doing a review of this. This is the Bailey Endeavour B62, obviously a camper van, again Ford based. So we're going to be reviewing this, and then we're going to do a comparison of a compact motorhome versus a camper van, and which might suit you best. So the way it works is Bailey got in touch with us and said, would you be able to review these models on a campsite? She said yes. So we've arranged the dates, which is now, and they've brought these from Bailey of Bristol factory, drop them off on the pitches, and we get the keys. They're not here, they don't tell us what to do. That's not, I always say, that's not how our channel works. We make the content and then we just put it out on the channel. They don't get to see it. That's how our reviews are. So yeah, so we're going to be reviewing these. So it's going to be a busy couple of days, and we've got to go to Burnham-on-Sea. Right, what we'll do is Jules and I will get set up now, and then I'm going to get these keys and move the Baileys because they're not in between the pegs, so I'm going to get told off. I've got my contraband cupboard refilled as well, so I'll show you that. Right, come on, let's venture back down to the pitch and get ourselves set up, and then I'll go have a proper chat with Gail. Gail's really nice. If you come to Hurn Lane, Gail is lovely, and Mark is as well. So we'll get ourselves set up, and then I think it'll be nearly time for lunchtime, so I will catch you in a little bit. Let's go and have a look around the Hurn Lane site. So we're on pitch 64, which is sort of down this corner. So we've come in and we've headed over to the far corner here. You can see obviously the pitches as we go up here. What I always do if I'm booking any campsite, particularly club sites, I like to have a look on a map, see where the pitches are, see where the sun's going to be, work out where I'm going to get the sun, because I'm like a little lizard, as you probably know, so I like a lot of sun. So these are the sort of things I always do when I'm going on a campsite, is have a look to see where the pitch is going to be, if it's going to work for you. So as I say, all these here are hard-standing electric pitches. Now, when we came in, there is the motorhome service point where Jules and I went first of all. That's just over there. So we can have a look at that as we make our way round. But that's where we went when we came in. So as I sort of explained when we arrived, you'll come through the barrier on a club site, choose your pitch, and then you go back to reception and let them know where you've chosen, and they give you a fob. This over here, so this is the first service block. If you're in your caravan, you will find you can get fresh water for your aquarol here, you can dump grey waste, and you've also got a dog wash here at Hearn Lane. So if you've been down to the beach and you're covered in sand, you can have a bit of a dog wash session there. And then coming round here, there's a dog park, because your dogs aren't allowed in the loos. We'll just have a little look inside. What I'll do, the ladies are this way. I'll take you in, just in case there's any ladies. So you come with me. We'll leave Jules outside. So if we go round here, you'll see they have got disabled facilities, as you can see there. The ladies are to our left, so we'll just dive in and go and have a look. So club site facilities, they're all fairly similar, but obviously it depends if they've been refreshed or not. So these are the Hearn Lane ones. You'll find there's these lockable cubicles with sinks and hair dryers. So these are great if you are just wanting to have a freshen up, brush your teeth or what have you. And then showers. So as you can see in here, if I put us in there, fixed head shower, you can change the temperature and the flow of the water. So those ones, fixed heads, and then coming down at the end here, you've got one that you can see you can sort of pull off, one of those types, which is quite good. And then the two toilet cubicles, we all know what toilets look like, but just gives you a little idea of the toilets and how the facilities look. Now, also, there's obviously the men's, which going to mirror these pretty much, apart from you'll get your urinals. There is also a baby and toddler washroom, which is there, and then a laundry room. You do have to pay to use the laundry. There are sinks though, so you can hand wash items, and then there's a washing machine and tumble dryer, and you can get tokens for those from the site managers and site assistants. And then there's a dishwashing area. So if you're in a camper van or a motorhome or caravan and you don't want to use your own sink, you've got red hot water coming through the taps here. Right, let me venture back out. Jules will hopefully still be here. He might not be. He might have just had enough and wandered off, but no, he's here. There you go, Jules. So as I say, we don't need to see the men's particularly. They're going to be pretty much like that. That's enough time spent in the toilets. The men's are there next to the ladies. So that's the dishwashing site, and laundry if you need to do your laundry. The reception block is where we just came in. What I'll do is we're going to venture up next to the other top part of the site, and this is where they've got some fully serviced pitches. I don't know the prices. I will put a link to the club site in the description so you can have a look and find out how much obviously a fully serviced pitch is. This area up here is quite nice actually that we're going to go to, and there's another service block there as well, so I will check that one out. So this is the barriers as we came through. You do need a fob to get through these, so there is that level of security. Back here we've got another huge number of hard standing pitches. It's fairly quiet. It's the 31st of March today and Monday. Yes, it is Monday, just checking the day. So fairly quiet, as you can see, sort of out of season, and plenty of space between the pitches as well, because sometimes it can all be a little bit hemmed in. Where we were the last few days felt a little bit hemmed in, whereas here it doesn't. Now this top end, if you've got loads of money to spend and you want a service pitch, this is where you want to be going. So when you see the red pegs here on the club site, these are fully serviced pitches. So you're going to get a tap for your fresh water, your electric, and you can also dump the grey waste. So these are the fully serviced. It's nice and quiet up here, it's lovely. And then these are going to be grass pitches with electric here. And then when the season picks up a little bit, all these here are also grass pitches with electric, so all the way round. At the moment, Mark somewhere, he's just cutting the grass and getting everything ready. But if you like grass pitches, then up here, I presume he's doing some work. He's got all his tools out, hasn't he, Jules? He's got his lawnmower, he's got his rake, he's got his little ride on, but he's nowhere to be seen. So I think Gail's doing all the work. Right, this here is the other facility block. Do you want to go in the men's, Jules, and have a look in there, or should I? Yeah, let Jules take you into the, no, I'll take you into the ladies then, come on. I'm not going in the men's. Right, so this is the other toilet block. Now the ladies is actually round this side here, so you've got to pot around. You've got the men's at the front and the ladies at the back. Gail told me this was a nicer block. Oh, and it'll always tell you as well on the club site what time they're doing the cleaning. Right, let me venture in. We'll see what these ones look like. So we've got a green finish in here. So we've got another good row. These are all showers down here. And there's a few more cubicles down there as well. Let's see what these are. Those are your sinks. Wow, it's absolutely spotless. So yeah, immaculate. And then toilets down there as well. And hair dryers everywhere. Right, let me take us back out. And then this one as well. There we go. And then I've no sense of direction. There's Jules. I come out and I'm always bewildered. It's a thing that's happened to me all my life. So those are just the facilities at this top end. There's obviously the ladies and the men's and what have you on here. But at least we've had a little look around. And imagine when it's sort of quiet like this. These are nice quiet ones. I might saunter up here myself later and test them out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wander back down to show you the main service point as we came in, so you can just have a look at how that looks. And then the plan is Jules and I are going to have a fairly quiet evening, get some tea. We've got some other friends coming by chance. They live in Wiltshire. You may have seen them in some of our other videos, but they're coming down to see us. And then tomorrow, we're going to spend tomorrow reviewing those Baileys. So 3 reviews to do. And obviously they'll be going out on the channel at some point. So we're going to get those done.
Night of homework.
And then sorry, Jules.
A night of homework.
A night of homework. Yes, I've got my facts and figures to get in my head. And then Wednesday we're going to go to Burnham-on-Sea, as I say. That's really nice. And then we'll be heading home. Jules and I have actually just moved house. You might, if you follow us on social media, you'll know. If you don't, then you won't. But on Monday last week, so a week ago, we managed to move house at last. We actually accepted an offer on our house back in September, and we have been waiting for this to happen. The chain collapsed once, and then we managed to find another house, but then a problem arose. So it's been the most stressful couple of weeks ever. I'm never moving again, but we have found a really amazing house and we've moved in. But we've just thrown everything through the front door, and then literally we collected the Sportivo and then off we've come. So the plan is to head home Thursday and unpack the house and go and spend some time in it. Right, this is the other service point. This is where Jules and I filled up. So on this one, you have got a chemical waste disposal point, drinking and wastewater for if you're using an aqua roll. And this for your motorhome service, you've already got a nipple on here, so you will just need your hose pipe to connect. So
That's ours.
Oh, that's ours. Did we leave it here?
Yes.
Oh, good job I brought us back here. Yeah, never leave your nipple around. So there we go. So you will need a nipple. So I'll unscrew that. So you're going to need a nipple to attach onto there, because that's ours. This, if you have emptied your grey tank on here, there's a hose pipe to wash off as well. And the idea is, if you're not familiar with motorhome service points, you want to get your grey waste as near to this grate as possible and dump your water down there. The Sportivo's got the electronic dump, so I'm quite looking forward to giving that a go when we come to empty ours. So there we go. Okay, I'm going to venture back to the pitch and get a bit of lunch now, and then I'm not sure, we might catch you later on. If not, it will probably be sometime tomorrow. It's a couple of days since we saw you last. On the day we arrived, we got set up on the pitch, cracking weather. We had some tea outside, did mango chicken, I believe it was. And then that night we had an amazing sunset as well. So Jules jumped out and got a beautiful picture of that. We've had a really good time so far. We spent yesterday reviewing these 2 motorhomes. Now, I'll just briefly show you those, and then we're actually going down to Burnham-on-Sea next, so we'll see that, and I'll come to that in a minute. So let me work out my keys. This one. So first of all, yesterday we reviewed this. So this is the Bailey Alora. It's what's considered a compact motorhome. It's 2.1 metres wide, so it's not overly wide, and it's 7 metres long. So I'll let you just have a look. I know there'll be the full review, so you'll be able to watch it, but it's always nice to have a nosy. So I'll let Jules just take you in there. So yeah, basically Bailey had these brought to the site, and then we spent the day reviewing them yesterday, and then we're doing a little bit more today when we get back. So it's nice just to have them on site and spend a bit more time being able to familiarise ourselves instead of at a dealership where it's all a bit hectic. This one has got the transverse bed, as you'll have just seen there. The Alora, there's also an island bed and I think twin beds. So there's 3 layouts on that one. Let me give it a lock because I'm incredibly security conscious, as you know. There we go. Right, now this one, this is the Endeavour. So this is a camper van, and what we've done as well is a comparison of a camper van versus a motorhome. So if you're considering one or the other, that comparison might be of use. There's a few bits on the floor just around that corner that came with it, but I'll let Jules jump in. There's 4 models on the Endeavour range. You've got a couple of pop-top options. This is the non-pop-top. And this has got that rear lounge. We actually have converted the rear bed as well to use that. You can have it as singles or a double. So that's the Endeavour camper van. It's one of those, isn't it? It's like, do you go for a motorhome or a camper? And I think that's a question that a lot of people probably have to ask themselves, really. I'll shut that and lock that. I'll check them afterwards. Don't want to leave them unlocked. So the plan next is we're going to go to Burnham-on-Sea. Now Burnham-on-Sea, I really like it. Again, it's a seaside town. From Hearn Lane, Caravan and Motorhome Club site, there's a couple of ways you can get to Burnham. If you've got your pedal bikes, which is what we would have done if we had our pedal bikes, you can cycle from the site. You connect up onto Route 33, that's the one we did when we went to Weston, and you can cycle, I think it's mostly off-road, all the way to Burnham-on-Sea. Or you can go on that number 20 bus that I talked about a lot. If you leave Hearn Lane, turn right out the gate, walk down Hearn Lane and get down into the top end of Brean, you can get the 20 bus. Or you can drive, whether it be your car or your motorhome or your camper. At Pier Street in Burnham-on-Sea, there is a car park and they've got 13 bays specifically for motorhomes. So as long as it's not, lunchtime in August, you should be okay to get a parking spot with your motorhome. So what we're going to do is we're going to make our way down to Burnham-on-Sea. We were going to take the motorhome, however, our friends Anne and Gary are here on site as well. So we're just going to jump in the car with them, but we're going to Pier Street, so we'll show you that car parking and then we'll venture around Burnham. Hopefully we'll find some lovely food as well, which I shall enjoy. So what we'll do is catch you next at Burnham-on-Sea. We've landed in Burnham-on-Sea. It's about 3.5 miles to the Pier Street car park from Hearn Lane. You can get to the seafront not far from Hearn Lane and then come along the seafront, which is really nice. This is Pier Street car park. That there, as a point of reference, is the B&M store. The seafront is over that way. So you want to just go past the B&M and then turn in, and then these are the motorhome bays. It says quite clearly on the floor, motorhomes. You can see that you've got longer bay and a really good overhang as well. 2 hours at the moment, £1.80, 4 hours, £3.90, and I think it was £6.10 for a full day. So those are the motorhome bays. We're going to head up to the seafront. Just to the right down there, there's loads of amusement arcades as well, so if you like going on those, you can go on those. There is a fish shop as well that's just over there that's pretty good. So what we're going to do is venture out on the seafront so we can all have a look at that and then find something to eat for lunch, because it's now, I think it's about 12:10, so we'll trot along and have a look at Burnham-on-Sea. I like Burnham. Yeah, I prefer Burnham-on-Sea to Weston-super-Mare just because of the feel of it for me. It's a little bit smaller, but again, it's one of those, if you're coming down, try them both. We did the other video so you can have a look. Okay, we'll head on now to the seafront and have a look there. We've crossed the road and this is literally where you're sort of going to come out. So you can either head left away from Burnham, and as you can see, you've got this nice pier, this promenade, so you can head off down there on foot, or head up to Burnham, which is this way, and there's the pier with the amusements. Right down at the end, I don't know if you can see it, that little white box. I don't even know if I can point to it on the camera, but don't know, somewhere down there somewhere, there's a little white box. That's actually a little lighthouse apparently on wooden stilts. I don't think we'll get down there, but that might be worth a little walk to. Jules is assisting with the finger pointing, he's trying. You'll find obviously that the beach here, you can see the sea there. It's quite tidal on this part of the coast, so it goes right out, a bit like at Weston. I don't know whether this is the sort of sand that we had at Weston where you've got to be careful that you don't sink in it, but just gives you an idea how it literally just goes on forever and you can walk as far as you want. We're going to walk that way up into Burnham itself and find out what's up there, so we'll see you up there a little bit further. We've wandered a little bit further, so here is Burnham Pier Amusements. This is like, well, it's not like Las Vegas, don't get me wrong, but there's loads of like arcadey stuff in there if you like that sort of thing. I just like the bells and the whistles and the lights and all that. I'm not a gambler, but I do like Vegas. When it all goes off, I get very excited. So that's there. There's also some ice cream there and donuts and candy floss and all those unhealthy things that I particularly thrive on. You can see across the beach area. I mean, it is a lovely day today. There's quite a breeze and it's a cold wind, hence I've still got my big coat on. But lovely, and you can walk. You can see dogs on the beach. I don't know the times of year for dogs, so always check on a council website for where you're visiting to check that out. Opposite the pier, there's a road called, I think it's, yeah, College Street. We're going to go down College Street as if we're going sort of into the town. There's a pub there called The Railway. We went to it a few years ago. It's a Green King pub, so we're going to see if that's still open, and if it is, we're going to get some food there. And then when we head back to the car, there's an ice cream shop called Little Italy, and I'm going to give that a try. It's almost next to the fish shop, which is Espland Fish Bar, and that's the one that gets really good reviews on TripAdvisor. So no fish and chips today, but hopefully a pub lunch. So we'll head up to the railway and get some lunch up there. We've been in the railway. That was really good value actually, don't get me wrong, not the best food you'll ever have in your life, but for 4 of us, there was like an offer on a Wednesday, 4 meals, 4 drinks, £38, so not bad even by Yorkshire standards. We've wandered back down the front, back towards the car park, and I'm going to go in Little Italy and get myself an ice cream, as you can well imagine. Anne and Gary are also getting some, so we'll see what they come out with, so I'll be back in a minute. I went coconut. There's quite a few flavours, but I've gone coconut, and so's Gary.
No, I'm good, thank you.
This is Gary. You've got to look after old people. And this is Anne. Anne's always got something to moan about, but that's, no, I'm only kidding, only kidding. So, we've got ice creams. We're going to head back down to the car park. Yeah, Burnham-on-Sea, great day out. So we'll eat these, and then I will let you know what it's like when we get back down to Hearn Lane, and we see you on the pitch. So, yeah, see you back at Hearn Lane. And there we go, we're back on the pitch from Burnham. Ice cream, not bad, not bad. A little bit expensive, but not bad at all. We've had a really good time. Hearn Lane Caravan and Motorhome Club site, brilliant. Really good stop here. The weather's been amazing, that always helps, doesn't it? And we got our reviews done as well that we had to do, so that's great. Burnham-on-Sea was nice, enjoyed it down there. That's certainly worth a trip down. If you've got your bike, jump on your bike and just pedal down. The Sportivo, that's brilliant. Again, we've had a good few nights in there testing it out, really enjoying that. We have got some really good travels planned, which you'll see in some videos that are coming. What we're going to do now is have a quiet night, and then tomorrow we're heading back up to Yorkshire, back home to our new house to unpack everything, unwrap our furniture and have a couple of weeks at home. We've got my dad coming to stop with us as well. That will be fun. My dad loves the attention and being looked after, so that'll keep me very busy. And then all being well, Jules and I will be back out again in the Sportivo on our travels. Thank you to Hearn Lane Caravan and Motorhome Club site managers, they've been great. Thank you to the club as well that have let us film.
Fantastic time, even brought the sun down with us.
Yes, well, we brought the sun.
Absolutely.
The Yorkshire sunshine. I'll put all the links down here to Hearn, to the club site, to the Coachman website, the Bailey website. I think that'll do. Right, Is that it, Jules?
Absolutely. And as always,
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Have a good one.